DIY.
Okay, DIYers, we're starting to get some news as we get closer and closer to the Super Bowl festivities. I mean, I don't care who you're rooting for. The team I'm rooting for is Kendrick Lamar. PG Lang. I don't know who you're rooting for. Look, I hope your team made it. Shout out to the teams that are involved in here. But there is no doubt about it that the biggest story in all of what's going on is Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. There was a lot of controversy circulating around the possibility of Kendrick Lamar not performing the song that got everybody talking last year during the battle between him and Drake, which is Not Like Us. There's a lot of speculation that because Drake was suing UMG and Spotify, that all parties involved would want to stay away from it, including the NFL, which is a multi-billion-dollar establishment. You know, it's like, with the pressure that Drake is putting on this legal situation, I don't think it'd be wise. I think this got amplified by 50 Cent in an interview that he did with Big Boy TV. Here, he's going to speak to some of the specifics as he saw it. And I'm going to tell you right now, first of all, justice for Ja Rule. Hello. And second of all, this is when I started to think, is he the one consulting Drake, allegedly? I'll play the clip to refresh your memory.
That was crazy.
When you first hear Not Like Us, what do you think about that?
I think L.A. is different. I think L.A. culture, the West Coast is very territorial. I think that energy, when you can build the camaraderie within them, that you'll feel something here that you won't feel anyplace else.
Hashtag justice for Ja Rule one time. Can you do that for me? Just because.
Hey, like the East Coast is not like that.
Right.
Like they're not like us. That energy. I think,
yeah.
Look, the lawsuit thing, I thought that was to make sure that didn't happen.
Wait, you talking about the Drake lawsuit?
Yeah.
To make sure what didn't happen?
That song didn't come on.
For the Super Bowl?
See, look, sue Apple, right? Sue Universal.
Right.
And then have your attorneys contact NFL corporate and say, look, we don't want you guys to involve yourself in this nasty lawsuit that's going on, and you guys are the biggest live sporting event. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're a part of the damages.
Well, that was a theory. But just like some theories, that got debunked. Oh, boy.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell
See, what had happened was that's what I was thinking. That was the plan. See, the plan was Drake ain't over there thinking, bro. I'm gonna tell you what's happening right now. He ain't over there thinking. Oh my goodness. Can we get to this right here? So, as you can read here on the screen, there is a headline on SB Nation, a reputable source, that says the NFL and Kendrick Lamar aren't scared of Drake's Not Like Us lawsuit at Super Bowl. Any pending lawsuits from disgruntled rappers will not have any impact on Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. Hold on. I love it here sometimes. Sometimes I really do love it here. Let's get back to the full screen of this. Oh, my goodness. So, this article goes on to say the long-standing beef between Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Graham finally boiled over into one of, if not the biggest moment in history of hip-hop last year. There were no subliminal bars and underhanded shots from one man to the other. There were no more, I should say. This was a full-blown lyrical warfare, the likes of which we haven't seen since Nas and Jay-Z, and never before seen in the era of social media. Everyone on the planet was talking about it, and everyone on the planet kept waiting to hear each rapper's response to the other. Ultimately, the result of the battle ended up being clear and decisive victory for Lamar, and his song Not Like Us became not only the defining track of the entire back and forth between him and Drake, but arguably the biggest song of 2024. It was a smash hit, the writer says, the biggest hit of the Grammy Award and Pulitzer Prize winner's critically acclaimed career. It was inescapable, right? This summer, whether it be in bars, every corner of the internet, and especially at sporting events. I don't mind replaying it. Let's try it again.
They try the reset timeout. Are they going to
This is at a Chicago Sky game. Shout out to Angel Reese.
awarded it? Andy Bonner says, hold on.
That was a celebrating song for the end of the game. Hold on. The New Orleans Saint head coach Dennis Allen quoted Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us after they win. Sometimes you got to pop out and show them, is what the coach said.
Man, that's a hell of a win, guys. That's a good football team that we just beat. Okay, 16 regular season wins in a row. Okay, that was a good team. All right, now, okay, here's what we said. We said we had to come in here and play our brand of football. All right, and that's exactly what we did. We played the way the Saints have to play this game. All right? And look, hey, sometimes you just got to pop out and show them.
It never get old. This is my favorite part of the movie. The movie ain't even came out on Tubi yet. Stay tuned. Naturally, when the NFL selected Kendrick Lamar to be the halftime performer for the Super Bowl, it seemed like a foregone conclusion he was going to perform Not Like Us in some capacity. How could he not perform the biggest song of the year? Thank you for that super chat. At the biggest sporting event in America. Could he perform the entire song, someone asked? Of course not. Is he going to have to clean it up a bit? Obviously. You can't perform a song where the most iconic parts of it are certified lullaby, certified PDF, and try to strike a chord and it's probably a minor without changing it to be appropriate for television. These viewers don't give a damn. You know what time we're living in? Even with changes needed to be made, there's no real reason for the NFL to get in the way of the song being played. People will point to Drake filing a defamation lawsuit against UMG.
FBI, open up!
Got a little nervous there. In the aftermath of his beef with Kendrick Lamar is the biggest reason why the NFL may step in, and it is understandable why people could come to some such conclusion. Why would the NFL want to potentially be involved in possible litigation for allowing the song to get played on what some would argue is the biggest and most popular sporting event in the world? Wouldn't it make more for them to cover all their bases and stay out of it entirely? The way this finna turn sound like, I know your Uncle Elroy said I was the type of nigga to get a little money and I wouldn't move out the hood. Yeah, you're right. That's what I said. But as soon as I got that money, I was gone. Cash money. That would make sense if the NFL wasn't running Super Bowl ads for Lamar's performance to the beat of Not Like Us playing in the background. I know you lying.
Halftime show. Catch Kendrick Lamar at the top of his game. It's February 9th on Fox.
This nigga can't even watch a Super Bowl from Australia. He can't even watch the game. I don't even like football anyways. I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it. I don't even care about that shit, man. I've never seen such a song be so haunting in every department of media. And of course, UMG is one of the most powerful corporations out there. They have hands in many different places that we probably don't even know they have connections. Can you imagine the hell that they are brought to bring, the mental warfare that some of us wouldn't even be able to know? He gonna have to turn his TV off, Cash Flow Cairo. Can you imagine? They probably got the power that every time he go in the elevator, it's like, they're not like us. They're not like us. Oh, AI Frank Sinatra version. That shit crazy. It goes on to say, as an organization as big, popular, and powerful as the NFL does not seem to be particularly concerned about any possible legal ramifications that could result from Kendrick Lamar performing Not Like Us at halftime. Nor should they be, because there shouldn't be any lawsuits post-rap beef from either of the two willing participants in the first place. Hello.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Also, remember when Snoop Dogg was crip walking and throwing up gang signs when he performed the Super Bowl halftime show a few years ago? Apparently the NFL does. They told Snoop not to do it beforehand. He did it anyways, and everything was fine. Here's a clip shared by my guy, Mr. Bubsy408. He says, so according to Mark Lamont, who is also he's an accredited journalist in his own right, but he's also one of the guests on the Joe Budden Network, Joe Budden podcast. He spoke to an executive within the NFL and asked if they are going to stop Kendrick from performing. Thank you for the super chat. Performing that song. You know that song is obviously Not Like Us. Kendrick can do whatever he wants is the quote. What is going on here?
I spoke to an executive at the NFL, Pick it up.
Insider.
So you don't watch, but you speak to the executives and keep up with the scores. All right, go ahead.
Oh, because I have to cover the stories. I cover the stories.
I see. Yeah. I see
So,
It's a halfway backbone.
so what Hov tell you?
it was an NFL. It was an NFL person, and because I asked, "Is the NFL going to block this?" And what they said was, Kendrick can do whatever he wants at the Super Bowl.
Famous last words.
The NFL does not control what he does. It's I gotta cut this part out.
That's basically, all right, they're not liable.
Yeah, right. They said we asked Snoop not to crip walk or throw up gang signs. He did it anyway. Nobody died.
Almost snot out my nose. What? We asked Snoop Dogg not to crip walking. I mean, he did it. Nobody died. Life went on. The game continued, and it was a pretty amazing game. There it is. You know what? Hey, man. Maybe that's the influence of Jay-Z on the NFL. If it is, this shit is hilarious.
In quote.
In quote.
That's funny as shit.
So
That's funny as
That's hilarious.
Because he definitely was. I was like, is he rolling up crib with the all blue bandana suit on?
Snoop also this last year, I know he embroiled a lot of controversy and a lot of it pissed you and me off. But I still think it was a really interesting moment when he was in the T-Mobile commercial with Kai Cenat, and he was like, "Yeah, you can get all kind of deals out here, kid." I said, "Did he say cuz in a T-Mobile commercial?" I had to. Did I just hear what I heard? Yeah, he sure did. But you mean to tell me Drakeana, Drakarian, Drakesha did all this nasty work because he wanted to stick it to the man. Gotta say pause in this here. He wanted to stick it to the NFL. He wanted to stick it to UMG. He wanted to go after Spotify. He did all of this. He got rid of whatever hip-hop credibility he had left just for this to go down anyways. And we talked about it a few weeks ago. What if Kendrick never even planned to make the show about you? It's not about you. He's the first rapper to headline the Super Bowl. And you literally, the superstar we once knew is now paranoid and spiraling. I know that shit I just know his house creepy right now. I wonder if he changed that toilet that played California Love, because that probably reminds him of Kendrick. I wonder if, that man, he can't even talk to his cat. He probably changed his cat name from Crody to Dodie or something. That's crazy. It says the NFL isn't going to stop Kendrick Lamar from performing Not Like Us, nor should they. One of the biggest songs in all of music deserves to be performed. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all going crazy. On one of the biggest stages in sports, and we're all looking forward to it. Well, all of us except for Drake. Well, he ain't worried about it. He in Australia.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
And, you know, I could have been petty. I really could have been petty right now. I could have been real petty and pulled up the Australian TikTok comments of people trying to sell their tickets in Australia. That's a real thing. I could have been petty. But then I saw my guy Ab-Soul tweet something. And this adds even further speculation to what we can possibly expect from the Super Bowl. This makes me very, very happy. Now, here on Hip Hop DX, they highlighted a tweet that went out from Ab-Soul's Twitter account, or his X account. The headline says, Ab-Soul fuels Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl excitement with cryptic teaser. Now, I'm just going to go straight to the tweet. It says right here, in all caps, listen. Ab-Soul don't ever type in all caps. It's usually very mysterious and very cryptic. He's in all caps for a reason. Let me make this as big as I can. He said, listen, I have never gotten a FaceTime from Dave Free, right? Of course, he was a higher up at TDE at one time. Now he's the business partner with Kendrick at PG Lang. He said, listen, I have never gotten a FaceTime call from Free. Shaking my effing head. I just shed a tear. Dead homies. Super Bowl. History. PG Lang. Top Dog ENT.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth.
Shut up. I don't care. I'm screaming like a little schoolgirl. I know these dudes, man. I seen these dudes get it out the mud for real, for real. I seen them. I remember going in them studio sessions as a young producer wanting to work with these dudes because I knew they was going to be legendary. I remember seeing Ali, right? And I just saw Ali at NAMM, and he's over there sounding like top-tier mogul right now, man, doing amazing things with engineers. I look at what everybody in that space is doing, man. I'm looking at what Kendrick is doing. I'm looking at Schoolboy Q's rise. I'm looking at J-Rock getting ready to release no music. Man, this is beautiful to see. I remember being in them studio sessions, and they was sharing pans of fries, cold fries. I'm like, oh, y'all been in here for hours to get this music done. So when I see this shit, and I see a possibility that we might get Black Hippie at the Super Bowl, oh my God. I might legitimately drop some tears if I see my guy Ab Soul out there, because he was my introduction to TDE. I would genuinely drop tears if I see my guy Ab Soul hit that stage. I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. That shit's amazing, bro. It brings me back to these lyrics in the Heart Part 6, the real Heart Part 6, not your Drake version of Heart Part 6. And it really does put some things into perspective. Y'all are going crazy. Hold on, I'll give you one more.
FBI, open up!
Too much love, too much love, too much love, too much love. We gotta chill, too much love. You know Drake don't like it when you show too much love to people that's not him. Real narcissistic, allegedly. In his line, Kendrick says, Top used to record me back when it was poor me, and now we at the round table for what assures me. I guess my motivation was the yearning for independence. Poured everything I had left in the family business. Now it's about Kendrick. I want to evolve, place my skill set as a black exec. I jog my memory knowing Black Hippie didn't work because of me. Creatively, I moved on with new concepts in reach. I imagine by making such a statement that he didn't have to make, by disclosing business that he didn't have to disclose, a family business, this may be his opportunity, or he may be looking at it as an opportunity, not that they're asking for it or needing, an opportunity to close the loop and to do something that they will remember for the rest of their lives. If you put your brothers on that Super Bowl stage, with all due respect, forget Lil Wayne. If you put your brothers on that Super Bowl stage, the same ones that you came up with, you can't never say nothing else. You got to just shut, not them, I'm talking about the naysayers. You got to shut the hell up. The man and put on artists that a lot of folks had no idea about from the West Coast that we knew about, that we couldn't even believe were on the project. And here they are. He did that. He gets on the stage and he don't need to do this, right? He did it at the Pop Out. But if you put your brothers here on a Super Bowl stage, to me, that's a bigger moment, culturally speaking, than Not Like Us. Not Like Us is for the pop culture fans, right? The ones who are just looking at the top layers of a 5-layer dip, the sour cream, the cheese. They ain't even getting into beans, right? Shout out to my former manager. He gave me that analogy. They're not even, forget that. That right there speaks volumes. Because you know how many artists, you know, they move into their independence, they shy away from where they came from, and them folks get forgotten about. Now, I'm not going to act like I know the situation between Nelly and the St. Lunatics. All I know is that Ali is allegedly suing Nelly about back pay. I'm not saying that to say that it's the same situation. I'm just saying a lot of these things end up happening in a way that don't end up like this. He puts his brothers up there with SZA and makes it a TDE type event. And then maybe Tyler too, bro. You ain't gonna be able to say nothing. Well, some people still got something to say. I mean, but that's part of the movie. You know, you don't really have a legitimate movie unless you got some opposition, right? I knew that was true when I was watching the damn autobiography of Mr. Rogers. I said, Mr. Rogers had ops? Oh, you bound to have ops. I said, what y'all mad about? Him putting his shoe on the right foot before the left foot? It says here, Louisiana lawmakers, this is LAilluminator.com. Louisiana lawmaker wants Super Bowl halftime show to clean up its act. He for sure got a call from Drakeana. New Orleans, a group of 17 Louisiana lawmakers has sent a letter to 2 key organizers for Super Bowl expressing serious concerns with the halftime entertainment being less than family friendly during the February 9th broadcast from the Superdome. You better not talk about Not Like Us. Senator Valerie Hodges penned the letter on behalf of her colleagues and sent it Monday to Philip Sherman, chairman of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, and Robert Vosbain Jr., chairman of the Louisiana Stadium and Exposition District, which oversees the Superdome. So they go on to say, you know, there have been guests like J-Lo and Shakira who have had revealing clothing, and I'm sure that they were hit up at some point in time about the possibility of this thing going off the hinges. Obviously, things that come to mind is we got to make sure we don't have revisionist history. Justin Timberlake ripping off and showing the areola of Janet Jackson to all of America, even though she caught the heat and he did. Okay. Yeah, so they want to try to get ahead of this. I'm sorry to tell you that's not the age we're in. Shout out to my guy Ichiban Don because he highlighted this particular. I've been waiting to hear from my guy, Cat Williams. He had an interview with Theo Von, and I feel like this wraps up the story really well about the age that we are currently in. Some will say the age of Aquarius. Some will say the age of truth. Here, Cat Williams clarifies his statements on Shannon Sharp's podcast from last year where he said this is the year of truth. He said it's more than just a year. What do you mean?
The age of truth is not 1 year. It's the beginning of people having more of a thirst for what is true than an appetite for lies. If you sell lies, it's a harder road for you.
If you sell lies, it's going to be a harder road for you. Who does that make you think of? I could tell you two names off top, Drake and DJ Academics, allegedly. Huh.
If you have truths to tell, people are hungry for that, and they'll pay you handsomely to hear the truth. Wasn't always that way. It's that way right now in real time. The age of
Shout out to Cat Williams. Do with that as you please. I do believe that we are in that age right now. I've been speaking to it in great detail. I do suggest watching the full thing in context, but I mean, some of us feel it. Some of us feel it and we hear it and we sense it in the air. We hear in the conversations that we're having with our peers. I hear it in my creative community of rappers and artists and producers. I'm seeing it and I don't have to even like speak on it. They're just like, yeah, it's time. When I talk to my guy Daylight, yeah, it's time. When I talk to my guy Ichiban Don, when I talk to, it doesn't matter who, Screwface John, it doesn't matter who, it's time. Because what's understood doesn't need to be clarified. If you're sitting around and you're like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not for you. It's not for you. And that's okay. Some things you need to be left out of. Some conversations you need to realize are just not for you. But for those of you that are feeling it on a spiritual level, for those of you that are seeing what is happening right now, just know if you're on the side of righteousness, if you're on the side of truth, if you're on the side of making sure that you take care of your responsibilities as a man and a woman, this is a good time for you. I just so happen to be an Aquarius myself, and my pops gave me warnings about this time, to be in preparation for this time, and that's what we are going to do. DIYers, yes, Ra, the shift is here. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Don't be greedy. Peace.